Okay, hello guys, welcome back to my stream. Today we have a funny flight. Let's say we are departing from Olbia, which is a really nice coastal shell and very nice sea rounding, and we are making the VIP person, let's say Boris Yeltsin, or what you can imagine, any person like this one, and we are going to Samedan in order to, because the Samedan airport is a ski resort, and yeah, it's September, so he will hardly do the ski anymore, but he should do the hiking, but he should enjoy just the Swiss Alps. So today is a special day and a special flight with this nice and beautiful livery. I'm a little bit confusing because please disregard the situation about the registration number of the airplane. I'm using United Emirates for this flight, so that's all. And yeah, we can jump to the cockpit, and our let's say VIP passengers with the 3 guys on board, 30 guys on boards, are now on the beach and drinking vodka, and they are removing from the beach and going to the terminal. And we as a pilot, as a pilot of private jet, we should have some to take care about the about the airplane. Okay, so jump to the airplane. Yes, we are here. So regarding to services, we need to set the target fuel. Target fuel according to our let's say operational flight plan should be 5,600, so we'll make 6,500 because we have plenty of room space, as the Boeing 737-700 or BBJs has 27K engines. It's way powerful. It's really powerful. So that means that it's really quite strange situation in our case. So okay, by the way, their checked baggage are 700 kilograms of alcohol, or whatever says. So now we can start the airplane, and I will a little bit slide the weather conditions into daylight condition, just for your eyes and for the nice view. So this we have okay, it's perfect. Overheat detect is okay. We can perform the fire tests. Fire tests are performing quite well. That's okay. That's pretty cool. So we may start the APU. Can check the battery voltage. We should start the APU without any further problems. As you can see the airplane from behind, we have the stairs prepared for the passenger, and that's okay. We have fuel attached. That's quite fine, and I think that everything should go normally with a normal way. What I would like to explain. First of all, you need to check the matter to Samedan Airport, because Samedan Airport is it's challenge airport, and you have fulfilled some requirements right over there, and I will explain. explain it why. So we have APU available, put APU on bus. Okay, safety equipment, circuit breakers, documentations, everything is okay. So now go to Samedan Airport. We need to have the Navigraph charts right over here, and we will put the Samedan Airport right over here, and it's our dispatcher is fully aware of the fact that we are flying to Samedan airports, and we are currently at Olbia. They are fully aware of the fact that we are arriving to Samedan. What is special on Samedan airport? It's special that only the airport with fire category 6 is allowed to fly there, and it's not because only the fire category, but it's as well for the turn-off on the runway and taxiway. So only BBJs, or let's say Boeing 737-700 should fly there, but they need to prove their performances. Right, you can see on the chart within Swiss control. So there are some irregularities which now we can avoid the situation because we have high air temperature right now, and what is another depicted there, that APU should be shut down at least 15 minutes after arrival. What is very important on Samedan airport is altitude. The altitude is 5,600 feet. What does it mean? It doesn't mean that in higher altitude your indicated airspeed will be okay, but your true airspeed will be 20 knots much. So that means that with the length of runway 1,840 meters, you are really close to satisfy your liking, or your let's say to break the airplane within some margin. Okay, so in this case we are using electronic flight bag or QRH to check if our performance limiting weight is okay, but I guess I'm pretty sure that it's quite okay, because as I said before, we have BBJ, we have only very low payload on board, so that's basically okay. For runway 21, puppy angle is 4.4. Why I am mentioning runway 21? Because if you look at the chart, there is the visual part of the runway 31, and there is quite high minimums. So I would like to avoid the situation, and I would like to perform the approach from Ronak Point right over here, because with flaps 40 and low payload we can easily break the airplane, and once I press the brakes and do them manually, we have so much time when we are on chokes and brake release to cool down the brakes, because imagine our VIP persons who are now drunk a little bit more as usual. It's right over there, and he will stay there, for example, for 1 week. Okay, and this is all about the coordination with Swiss authorities, and as well for our arrival. Okay, arrival to the Samedan airport I will explain later on, but what is important to check the weather conditions right now, and to watch if we meet our RVR and sailing conditions, because it is only LNAV approach, so we can fly it LNAV now, but we need to add 50 feet height loss, or we can fly it into the minimums, which is minimum descent altitude 8680. We will level the airplane and watch if we can see the runway, but anyway, regarding to EASA ops, we need to have the visibility and sailing as well. So that's a very important part, um, in case of in case of in case of we are going to land there. So so this is okay. So I will switch to Olbia. Okay, so we have as well some restrictions, auxiliary power units, low visibility procedures, general conditions, departure information of the runway, and airport briefing, taxi procedures, that's okay, departure procedure, startup, taxiing, classifying, that's okay, that's what we don't need, and we will see which runway we will pick up, because according to matter condition, as you can see, Esmeralda Olbia, we have 28010 knots, so we will fly on the other direction, but as we are light, 280 with 10 knots, it's exactly how to say, on some engines is exactly on the limitations. Some engines have 15 knots of tailwind, so we can make it runway 05, and just for fun and just for better view. Okay, so now it is okay. Fuel is coming up, so we can put pre-flight procedure. That's okay. Air conditioning pack. Cool down the cabin for passengers comfort, because we are carrying the the VIP passengers, and now we just press the brakes and put the brakes. Captain is making the walk around. Everything is okay. Everything is quite nice. We have 1 to 2 decimal 8, which is Watson frequency, and 1 to 1 decimal 5. Which is emergency broadcast services. That's okay, and we should have flight interphone in case we are making the refueling and something happens. So one guy in cockpit should tell the cabin crew that hey, we have the fire, make it a rapid decompression, rapid disembarkation, and another guy should call to the tower that we need the emergency assistance on board. Okay, so now we can fill up the FMC. So in this case we go to FMC, can go to position, it's Costa Olbia, we have stand number. What is the stand number? 111. Okay, so stand number 111. It match our conditions, so that's perfect. We put the company route. We have United Emirates flight 100. It's a special flight, and Olbeck is our departure. And as I said before, we'll do it with another way. So we disregard this wind condition because we have 27k engines. So the wind limitation doesn't care in our case, and I really enjoy the view of the rig, which is on the right side. So oblique 7 kilo. Olbeck 6 kilo and 7 kilo. So go to the departure page and find Olbeck 7 alpha and 7 bravo, and I will use 7 alpha, okay, in this case. So that's quite okay. Routing performance initialization page, and as you can see that we have transition altitude at 6,000 feet. It's quite okay. It's perfect. Initial climb clearance we don't have, so I put there 400 directly. So 400 and 5,000 and 600 will be our landing altitude, so that's okay. It's well prepared anyway, so that's okay. And from Oblak, Oblak 7 Alpha, intercept SME radial 053, so 053 will be our initial heading. Oh, 053, that's okay, that's right over there. And then we continue to DME 9.5 from, or let's say DME 10, and to Oblak, which is 10,000 feet. We can check our mask, tested 100%, that's quite okay. What we can do the next is it's put the SME 113.9er. 113.9er, we have it already there, so that's perfect. And in case of relanding, we use ILS runway 23 because of the wind condition. So that means that 053 will be the first radial in our departure, which we put here. Put it like this, and 233 will be the ILS in case of relanding. So we are basically going straight ahead, and overhead the sea will solve our problem with the checklist, and will perform the actions, and going to make relanding. Yeah, anyway, 111.3. 1.3. Okay, so we have everything pre-selected. That's what I like. That's okay. We're creating H1015. 1015, and our engine node acceleration altitude will be 800 feet. Approximately. Okay, on the rest, what we can do, we will fill up the initial reference page, and we have flight level 400. So I'll press flight level 400 right now. Cruise wind conditions 291, 60 knots. Okay, that's quite okay. And we have ice deviation plus 2 degrees. That means minus 54 will be okay. Cost index we have 64. I really like it. And FMC reserve is 2.2, and Zurich is our destination alternate airport. Okay, so that's quite okay. We have everything filled up. We just press the light test just to check the lights. Everything is okay, everything is fine. Now we can press services. Okay, we can detach the fuel. We can put it into on position and connect it with the ground personnel for startup. And basically that's it. And now we can request the cars. So you can see there should be 30 passengers with 3 cars, but I hope he will somehow put all the passengers into the cars, but it looks like that we are carrying the United States president, but not Boris Yeltsin, or let's say to some VIP persons which are drunk. So okay. So now the cars are here. We can start the board. We can start the board as well. The baggage, and I really like it because to put 700 kilograms on the aft compartment, it's really with our flight envelope, and according to our load sheet computation. So it's pretty cool and okay. And just for your eyes, I will perform the landing, the takeoff from runway 05, as you can see right here. So we'll go with this direction, and just to see, I will put the full thrust, and just to see how powerful the NG or BBJ is with 27k engine. Imagine that 800s has 26k engines, and how powerful the airplane is. and with 30 passengers on board and with 700 kilograms of bags, so the payload is basically nothing with 27k, so we are going up like a hell. But anyway, if you are flying with the passengers, you have the pitch limitations up to 20, okay? But in this case, we will disregard the situation and let's simply avoid it and just to have a fun, okay? Um, so we have packs on board. That's it. So hello guys. See you next time. Bye bye. All our trip was okay. We are satisfied. We are happy with it. We swim a lot. We have a lot of girls. Uh, and that's it. We have a lot of alcohol on board. So bye bye. Take care. So as you can see, it's a really beautiful and very beautiful livery. I really like it much, very much. I really like it very much. It's crazy. It's amazing. Okay. Anyway, okay. So we have packs on board. Uh, Everything we have, so we can release the stairs. In order to disconnect. So the doors are closing, the stairs are going down back, so we can make and before takeoff procedure. So fuel pumps on, and as we are making, I guess it's self-turning stand. It should be okay. So we put the hydraulic pump switches on. We ask for the clearance. After the clearance, we put a transponder mode to standby. We put anti-collision lights on, and we put the engine start procedure like this way, and we are happy to start the engines. So we start the block time and start with the engine number 1. Okay, so we have 26. So I just watching the nice view because I really like it. I really like this BBJ, and for me, I am considering that I will fly with Flight Simulator within the BBJs only. So okay, so we have start valve cut out, and in order to make a fresh air, we make a isolated pack procedure. If you don't know what is isolated pack procedure, just check it within FCOM volume 1. It's clearly stated right over there. Yeah, okay, so put it on. If you put late it after to 25%, you should have the wet start. But this video is just for fun, so don't take it serious. I will put intentionally the head-up display off, because the head-up display we don't need it for this flight, and I'm not comfortable with head-up display. Sometimes it's a good solution because you can increase your decision altitude within 50 feet, but it makes no sense for me. Okay. So now we have a start bell cutout, and what we can do, as we are on chokes, brake pressure is okay, we can remove the chokes and just check it twice. And now, as I can see, I forget to put the limitations right over there. So flaps 1 like this one, it's okay. We have to 30 at 10 knots, 3000 to 30 and 10 knots. It's okay with the dry runway, and V speeds are 137. So that's okay. We can put the flaps into one position. So that means flaps 1, and we can perform the before takeoff, before taxi procedure. Checklist to line. It's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Isolation valve. It's working. It's working, so it's perfect. So that's okay, and we have flaps 1 and always when you have flaps 1 green light, check with the overhead panel if it match the condition. And now we press this button with the system button, and make a flight control check. Ailerons are checked, elevator is checked, rudder is checked. So we may disconnect the APU. Okay, sorry, it's my fault. Press blank lower display unit, recall, everything is set up. Put it on the VHF 1, and this is okay, so we may start the turn. Ground equipment clear on the right side, clear on the left side. I will skip this guy, okay? Here. Anyway. So, fire resistant car, and if you can see the fire car, sometimes on some airports you are allowed to make a refueling with packs on board, but it should be some conditions met, and these conditions are for example these conditions are that you have fastened bolts off position, one crew member is on the board, and establish communications with the ground staff. and the fire assistant car is right over there. So but it differs from airport to airport. uh, what is the procedure? Some airport doesn't have this procedure, so that means that okay, now guys, you have to refuel and then we can put the passengers on board, and that's it, with no longer discussion about this situation. Okay, but some airports, you may ask it, but be aware of the fact that it costs your company mm, with much higher, let's say, cost penalty. So left side is clear, right side is clear. We can go further away. We can put weather radar, and we can put the traffic. Can clear the reset the fuel flow, and on the pilot monitoring side is always the map mode, and on pilot flying side is always the weather depiction over there. So we have flaps 1, green light, and stabilizer trim is 4.6 units, it's set. So we have before takeoff checklist completed. Okay, sorry guys, I really to make a view like this one. It's really amazing. I am retired from flight flying from almost 6 years. I didn't speak English 6 years, so that's why my explanation in English is not perfect. But what I like, what I really like is today platforms. They're okay, but what I dislike, it's many of YouTubers who are presented that they are performing the real flight operationals, and it has nothing in common with real flight operationals. Okay, so we are approaching the holding point, we are entering the runway, so we can make a lineup procedure like this one. Jump seat must be, guys. And now we put the lights. So we start our flight time, we keep it rolling, so Let engine stables. We have runway 05 positively identified, so that's okay. And now we can press the toggle button, and here we go. So and now watch how the accelerator stop distance available looks like. We have passing 80 knots. We have V1 rotate, and imagine how much runway we have in front. Okay. Okay, gear up. L now, autopilot engage, command, and now enjoy the view, and especially enjoy the view of this reach. I really like it. Wow, it's really perfect. So we have 3000 feet. We may accelerate. And look how we are from the airport. How high we are. It's amazing. It's completely understandable. So as you can see, I told you that a BBJ or Boeing 737 with 24K engines are really powerful, but with 27K, it's really amazing. Okay, so we can put for example 230 in case we have flaps asymmetry, but we don't have it. And I like this cliff. I don't know what is, but I like this cliff so much. So we have transition altitude. We can put it into the standard mode. That's okay. We have flaps up, no light. I really like this cliff, but in real life this cliff looks like a little bit different, and it's a little bit nicer because the sea right over here is more blue, and the cliff it's more, let's say, it's more bright. So okay, we're passing flight level 100, so reset minimums. Put the lights off. All we have. That's quite okay. Not forget, always when you are turning into some direction, do not forget to turn the speed back, heading back. Sorry. We can put it into the VNAV, so we may accelerate the airplane. And yeah, I really enjoy. Look at this one. It's amazing. That's why I put the BBJ from Olbia to Samedan, because as we are swimming, and then we are going to make a ski, but in September we hardly make any snow conditions within the Samedan, so maybe just enjoying the Swiss Alps and perform the skiing as well, so it's okay basically. So now we can release the cabin crew. We can watch the temperature if it meets the conditions. In the flight deck we little bit cool down temperature, and with the passenger cabin just a little bit cool down as well. But in real life it's opposite. In climbing, you are adjusting the temperature in the higher temperature because you are climbing high, up to minus 50 degrees of centigrade, and during descent you are going low, so that means that you are making the opposite way uh, of these settings. But anyway, we are flying to for example flight level 400, and now what we can do, we just press the airports, and if we look at the chart, we have some airports, or let's say I will ask you a question. What airport will be suitable for you in case you have emergency? Okay, so in case with emergency, for example, one engine operative, or we have fire on board, no matter, come back to Olbia. Okay, if we have medical case on board, the best suitable airport for us will be Fiumicino. So as you can see here, we put there, for example, 200 nautical mile circle, like this one, and then we are going through Milano Malpensa airport, which is Lima India Mike Charlie, I guess so. Yes, it's Milano Malpensa airport, and as you can see, we have the the two crossing circles, which are more crossing. So I will put 150, and as well I will put 150 right over here, and now you can see that if you have serious troubles, you can easily achieve the Fiumicino and Milano Malpensa. In Boeing 737, as I told in my previous videos, has capable of flying with 60 minutes engine operative. It's approximately, with the still air condition, 360 nautical miles, but in Europe we have plenty of airports, and I will always pick up the airport which is open, which has the good facilities, for example medical case, for example fire category, and so on, because once we have the medical case on board, and that was the guy who was performing scuba diving, and he was not aware of the fact that he need to wait 48 hours after scuba diving to fly the airplane. So nitrogen in his blood was making bubbles, and he feels sick. So we need to coordinate with ATC which airport is suitable for them, in order the nearest city has the decompression facility. So it's always regarding to nature of the problem. Okay. So, and another situation is, if you look at the chart, we have right over chart fuel enroute airport. Fuel enroute airport is due to reduce the contingency fuel from 5% to for example 5 minutes or 3%, or let's say whatever. Okay, it's EASA recommendations, and the operators which are applying to do so need to fulfill some requirements, but this is long-term discussion. And our fuel enroute airport is it's Forli airport. It's Lima India Papa Kilo. Okay, so we can put Lima India Papa Kilo airport right now, and as you can see, the airport is depicted right over here. In order to make the situation not so mess for you, I will delete Malpensa airport. I will delete the Fiumicino airport. Okay. And now you can see the airport, and we can make a circle 130. That means that from this altitude you should fly straight ahead to the airport without any further problems that you are high or you are low on profile. Okay, it's rough, it's very rough computation. So if we are coming to this airport, as you can see, it's approximately 40 nautical miles. So we can check our operational flight plan, and in our operational flight plan it's clearly stated one thing, and this is that our FMC reserves and FMC reserves are final reserve plus alternate, but in this case we should count with 5 minutes of contingency fuel, which is approximately 200 kilograms. That means that we should have 900 with this final reserve plus alternate, which is 1400, and plus 200. Okay, and then to give us the number 2050. Okay, so in this case I will put it right for you, just to be aware of the fact what is counting for, and this fuel should be less than the remaining fuel on your destination. Okay, so in our case I will again cut it off and put it back into right over here, and as you can see we are approaching the circle. So this circle it's our decision point. So if the fuel is less, we need to divert to fuel en route alternate airport and make a refueling. If the fuel is more than 2500 kilograms, we are good to go and we can proceed to our destination. So how we check it? Very simple. As you can see, Samedan airport 3800, we are perfectly without any further problems. Okay, so that's fine. I forget to mention about the about the RVSM airspace requirements, but RVSM airspace requirements, I decided to make a new video for this part of situation. When you can when you are allowed to enter the airspace, and what is the conditions you need to meet in order to enter this airspace. But anyway, I will put the sim brief charts, and I will check once again with my flight plan significant weather charts. And significant weather charts are progress charts, and there should be always on the board with you, and because it's valid as well for summer and spring conditions, as well for the winter conditions, because in summer conditions there are depicted the prediction of the thunderstorm area activities, and in the winter conditions there are presented the severe icing and the clear air turbulence area. And as I can see from the chart, I will put it just for you. Just give me a moment. And now you can see from Samedan we have severe icing with moderate turbulence from the ground, from the flight level 180 to ground. What does it mean? It means that we have to count with the conditions which lead us to, okay, put like this one, sorry for disturbing, which lead us to conditions that, hey guy, you are using the engine anti-ice, and your idle thrust setting will be much higher than idle thrust setting without engine inoperative. Sorry, without engine in normal conditions. For example, in normal conditions, the engine idle is approximately around between 30 and 35, let's say, but with the icing conditions, when we put the engine anti-ice, it should rise up to 45%. That means you are high above the over the profile. So we have 100 to 1000 to level off. That's okay. That's pretty fine, and we can start our preparation to Samedan. So what do we need to do? So first of all, we put the Samedan airport right over here, and we have RMP runway 21. As the runway is really short, okay, it's not working. Okay, now it's working. So our final approach course will be 221. 221 as well, and remember, a runway is very short and the true airspeed will be much higher because it's related to physical length of the runway. So in this case we have the trouble, but as I said before, we have no problems. In navigation settings, always should be the viewer frequency in case of you are performing the LNAV approach. And now we have minimum climb gradient is 2.5 or 4.3. Okay, we have 30 passengers on board, 700 kilograms. That means that we can easily achieve this climb gradient without any further problems. So I will go definitely for continuous descent technique, and with the decision altitude of 8,730. So now we are waiting a little bit. It should be like in Zibo, because Zibo has a feature, because this switch or this knob is spring loaded, so that means that if you press it, it will go up a little bit higher than you are adjusting with a small press on the knob. So if you don't if you are aware, guys, how to do it, not like this way, but you have some performance trick to put it a little bit faster, leave me a comment below, and I will very happy, and I will be very appreciated to do so. So this is okay. So we are approaching 8,680, but as I said before, we need to adjust it with the 50 height loss, so 8,730 will be our let's say decision altitude. And right now, what's going on? I need to put a flight right over here. I will delete this one, and I put the new flight from SimBrief. And as you can see, we are coming from Ronak point. It's quite a tricky situation, because if you're a professional pilot, you have to apply the rules which is applicable for all of your IFR flights. So we are going to Ronak, but you see Ronak point? Yes, we make a turn, but it's not the proper procedure, or let's say it's not the proper IFR way. So what we can do, we can do it like this one. With the departure arrival, put air now runway 21, execute. I guess it will be some discontinuity. Oh, it's not the discontinuity over there, so just leave it like now. We will see from Ronak we can directly go to Zulu Sierra, but the proper IFR way is to put overhead the Ronak point, let's say the hold position. Okay, so overhead Ronak hold, next hold, and on the next hold we put the Ronak page. That's okay. We can delete this restriction because it's not valid for us, and as we are above flight level 140, we should use the 1.5 minute lag time. If we are below a flight level 140 or 14,000 feet, we should use the lag time, outbound time of 1 minute. So that means 146 with left turn. It's non-standard turn. So we will make it like this way, and that's okay. And now we are good to go because the airplane fly to the Ronak point. He will make probably the teardrop entry, and then make it go away to Zulu Sierra 710. And what is strange here, Zulu Sierra 710, we have 13,000 feet, which is okay because it's our final approach point. But another waypoint is Zulu Sierra 712, and 712 it's okay because it's 5,967. But as you can see, the airport elevation, it's or let's say the runway elevation is 5,573 plus 50 knots, because you have to account the threshold elevation, so that means 5,620. And you see what we have here. So it's not true, and as you can see, the glide path angle in real life it's 4.4. The puppy as well is 4.4, but in the flight simulator we have a glide path angle of 3.69, so it's a very shallow approach, okay, from the 13,000 feet. I don't know why, what is the situation. If somebody knows what's wrong, leave me a comment and we will discuss it without any further problems. I am really that kind of the person. I am not the showman, and I am that kind of the person in which you can communicate and tell me that hey guy, you made it wrong, so that's it, okay. But anyway, regarding to our flight, we'll unload it, put it back, and from sim brief we can put it like this one, and as you can see we have in METAR transition level 170. What does it mean? That we can easily descend, but we can descend to 15,700 feet into the Ronak point. Overhead Ronak point, that's why I am putting the hold page. We can descend to 4,000 feet, which is minimum holding altitude. Okay, so 15,700 feet, it's quite good for us. Okay, I will just check the weather situation right now, and we'll see what happens and what's the weather situation right now. Please be aware of the fact that if you are flying on Alps or in Scandinavian countries, the weather changes from minute to minute. Okay, so we have QNH 1019er and we have broken 6,500 feet. So 6,500 feet, it's quite high above. So 1018 we put here, and we can put it right here. Transition flight level was depicted on the METAR 170 and 1018 we have, and we can request descent wind condition. Okay. Okay, so we have descent forecast uplink ready, and as I said before, from significant weather chart we know that from flight level 180 up to ground we encountered the moderate turbulence and moderate icing. So what does it mean? Flight level 180, okay, and as the broken was 5,000, so we can put for example, but 5,000 with 5,000 we can put flight level 110. Okay, so and now we have proper setup the airplane for the landing, and we can easily remove this fuel enroute alternate airport because it doesn't make sense for us because we have plenty of fuel. So recall is checked, and regarding the holding fuel, we have hold over 51 minutes overhead Ronak point, so that's okay. So that's pretty cool, pretty fine. So MCP set, auto brake set, FMC set, navigation we don't need to set because we are performing LNAV approach. And if you are performing the LNAV approach, always remember you should have performed the LNAV approach with an LNAV mode, not any other mode, just LNAV mode. Okay. But you may use the VNAV as the guidance without any further problems with visual descent point. Again, it's according to your liking, but you may use the vertical speed, level the airplane within the MDA, and watch if you see the runway or if you don't see the runway. So anyway, what we can do now, it's just check it right now, everything is okay. Differential pressure, that's fine, that's fine. Cabin temperature, it's quite okay. It's maybe a little bit high with okay, 1, 2. It's maybe a little bit high on the passenger cabin, and I don't know why I have this light switch on, but anyway, strobe and steady, everything is okay. So basically the in-flight scan was completed, and we can jump for example to the cabin and look what we have inside. So this is the VIP persons, which are low-cost VIP persons, because as you can see the seats, they're low-cost seats. So these are the guys, for example, from some newspaper guys or whatever, and now we can move into the cabin, and what we can see right now, this is much more comfortable. So we have some notebook, croissant, cup of the coffee as well. Here we have some refreshment. This I cannot click over there. This should be a toilet, maybe. Okay, but a toilet. Imagine that you are doing what you have to do, and everybody is watching. Oh, okay, maybe. Okay, again, croissant, mini bar, and everything. Regarding to this situation, for example, doors, I will make a separate video how to open the doors and how to close the doors. So basically that's it, and that's okay. And I will go back maybe a little bit to our fuel enroute alternate, which is LIPK Flory. And as you can see from the picture above, the companies has the opportunity to save the contingency fuel. But in nowadays it doesn't make sense, because we have too much cumulonimbus and it's spread all the way up, so we need as much fuel as is possible, so it doesn't make sense to reduce the fuel. But if you have a reduced contingency policy, so your fuel enroute alternate should be like on the picture above. Okay. So, as I expected the turbulence overhead the Alps, I will put the turbulent penetration airspeed, which is Mach 0.76 and 280, and that's it. Basically, we are good to go. And I will just open the map and open the flights, unload the flight. I'm still learning how to use these things, because in real life we doesn't have the things, so we are we have the grid altitude 15,700 feet. I need to write on the paper somewhere over there. So that's it. 15,700. That's why I was explaining to you the basic IFR flights, because I saw the many of videos on YouTube and the guys just put the on MCP the MDA or DA, and that's it. Okay, it doesn't work in a real life like this one. Okay, you always should put the first step waypoint, and when you are over the waypoint, you put the next step waypoint, and you are going down, and your copilot should read from the chart the DME distances. So like this now, we are overhead the Italy, and we are approaching the Alps, and it should be somehow turbulent right now. Look at the beauty. Look at the beauty. I admire the guys who are making the liveries with the Photoshop, because I tried to make a livery with the Photoshop, and it was not a success. It was completely fail. So in this case, I would like to have my own livery, but I need to pay for it within the web page, which is Flight Simto. I put there some request, and that's it. Look at the beauty. It's pretty cool. Okay, so we are nearly the top of descent, so we can for example descend on to flight level 200, which is okay basically right now within the Alps without any further problems. So speed back as well, and we can press descent now like this one, and the FMC will works for us. And at this time, if you look at the compartment, everybody is drunk, everybody is okay, they have no problems. Basically, that's it. If you are watch on the outside, you can see the beautiful Alps we are approaching. And if you have Boris Yeltsin on board, so be aware that the second bottle of vodka is already done. That's fine. That's pretty okay. Uh, Regarding to the situation with the BBJs, uh, please be aware of the fact that yes, you are flying a business jet, you are paying a lot of money to fly uh, your airplane with yourself and your money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of the money. But please be aware of the fact that the cabin crew members on board are there. They are, yes, they are they are doing the best for you to make a refreshment, alcohol, everything. But they are trained uh, in order uh, to make your flight as safe as possible. So in case of something happens, the primary procedure of the flight crew of the cabin crew member is take care of your flight safety. So uh, maybe uh, and I'm always telling to you, be kind uh, uh, of the cabin crew members, senior crew member, and other crew members, because they are there for your flight safety. Okay, because my last flight with Ryanair was one big catastrophe, because it's good habit to tell to the flight crew that hey, uh, we are going, we are the flight crew, and in case of emergency, you may ask ourselves to help you with the emergency situation. And the response of the cabin crew member from Ryanair was that we are not going to plan the emergency anyway, so bye bye, and that's it. Okay, so it was completely misunderstanding, and it was completely wrong reaction from the cabin crew member, because if you have any airlines which are behaves like a professional, they will tell you, okay, uh, we have free seat within the overwing exit, and you are fully aware how to open the overwing exit. So if you would like, you can sit right up there or whatever. That situation could happen. So as you can see, the beautiful Alps, and I believe that these are the Italian Alps. How we can recognize? It's Italy. It's right over the Italy. We are approaching the Swiss border. So now, as you can see, the airplane is keeping the VNAV path, and we have R mode, still in R mode. So we are performing the idle descent, but the speed is 270 instead of 280. But anyway, it's okay. And as I said before, maybe I didn't say it before, the mechanical turbulence from the Alps shouldn't be like this one. We are at flight level 250, and if you press the meters button, just in order to know, you can easily see that we are coming to 4,700 feet, and in this 4,700 feet, yes, in this case you should have the mechanical turbulence, but at flight level 250, no way. Okay, so it's the differences between the flight simulator. So what I'm missing? I'm missing the electronic flight bake with proper computation of all your contaminated runway and so on, sim brief integration and the Navigraph charts. That's my opinion. Really close. It's the Phoenix airplane, but in Phoenix airplane you don't have the chance to put, for example, 1500 kilograms into the aft compartment and 500 kilograms into the forward compartment. Why are we putting this? Because from ATPL theory, it means that airplane is not stable onto the forward compartment, and it leads to conditions when there is more fuel efficiency. That's why we are putting as much as possible into the aft cargo compartment. So that's the first point, and the second point is first of all we need to refuel, and then you can put the passengers on the board. And there is as well missing the contaminated runway conditions for computation, but this is a long story. And I hope that there is some nice feature, virtual performance tool, and there is some LCDL for Boeing 737-800, and there you have computation for whatever you like. You have contaminated runway, okay, what's the contaminated, what's the depth, what is the mal restriction, for example, anti-skid inoperative, reverse inoperative, and so on. So this is a pretty cool, nice application. It costs about $6 per month, so it's not so bad. It's quite okay. So I will put the cabin crew on position to prepare the airplane for the landing, and while performing the landing, carefully watch what is the true airspeed and what is the indicated airspeed, because the V speeds are related to physical length of the runway. That's why you are putting the tailwind and headwind component. So imagine that you have a runway length which is only 1800 feet, and with this high altitude it is not 1840, it is for example 1000 and 400 meters. Okay, so so be aware of the fact that what you are doing and how you are performing your approach. Okay, so now I can see that the airplane has the same problem as before to keep the altitude with the right way. So we are performing the teardrop entry. I guess it's teardrop entry because if you are flying on Boeing for 20 years and you are always using the this whole page, you are going to be lazy and you forget about the conventional navigation, and you forget to see that hey man, you are going to performing direct entry, teardrop, or and so on and so on and so on. But it's completely normal. Many of pilots are forget to put there. Okay, regarding to the lights, I will put it right now, even if we are not below 10,000 feet, because we are keeping 15,700 feet. And once we are on the holding pattern, we can go down to 14,000 feet. And as we can see, temperature is -3, and we have some clouds right over there. So I will not go below this speed because, as I said before, the holding with flaps extended, it's not allowed within the icing conditions. So anyway, we are approaching the Ronak point, as you can see, and as we are starting to turn, we are within the protected area. So that means that we can go to 14,000 feet, and from 14,000 feet we are starting to decelerating our airplane into this waypoint. Okay. Okay, so we are going down. We are overhead the Ronak point, so we are in protected area. So we can go down. I will see. We'll make it maybe with teardrop entry and just put it like this way. We will see. But anyway, we'll look at the beautiful Swiss Alps. Really nice. Okay, it's parallel entry. it's parallel entry. That's why don't blame me for the situation, because I can tell you 20 years of flying on Boeing, you completely forget about what is the teardrop entry, parallel entry, and direct entry. But if you are a professional pilot, you should have at least some information that hey, this condition exists in real life, so it's okay, basically. Look at uh, the hills and look at our altitude. You should be very precise and very careful with Alp flying, flying to the Alps, or let's say conditions which are on the high mountains terrain, because in this case, okay, QNH is 1019er and we have tailwind component of 10 knots. I don't like it, but I will perform the approach and I will tell why. So 1019er, it's right over there, and I will tell you why I am doing the procedure for runway 21. It's because using runway, another runway, it's far more complicated. Oh, what is he doing? Come on, go up, please go up. Put the flaps 1. It's the simple reason, because it's far more complicated, and we are still with the tailwind limitation, even if the runway is long in a short, and the payload it's really low. So we can make this procedure like this one, okay? So that's no problem. If you look at the chart right now and look at the visual approach and special notes, and we have this runway, you can see that we have very high MDA, which is 11,400 feet, and which is not good for us. So in this case, I will leave it like this. It is, and now we can exit the hold with the procedure like this one, and we can go down to 13,000 feet via vertical speed. Okay, so we need to adjust the speed a little bit, because if you can see, our ground speed now is 171, and what does it tell us? 1300 feet. So we have 1400 feet, which is quite well enough. Anyway, we are entering the clouds and the temperature is not okay, so we need to use the engine anti-ice. Okay, and at this waypoint I would like to have the gear down, flaps 15. I forget to put the flap speed. Okay, so it's my mistake. So 1 to 1, 1 to 6. One to 6. That's okay. It's my bad because I'm explaining and I forget to put on the right sequence what it should be. And from this waypoint we are going to 10 nautical miles from Zulu Sierra 712, which is 10,600 feet. Okay, 10,600 feet, and we can go down. So once again we have the ground speed, as you can see, 170, and 170 is approximately 1,300 feet, so it's okay. So we are waiting for Zulu Sierra and approximately 10 nautical miles, and we can go further down. We have gear down and flaps 15. We have speed brakes in arm position, and that's it. We don't need to use the engine anti-ice anymore, so we can put it off, and we are going directly through the valley which is in front of us. So we can put the final configuration. So we are going directly to flaps 25. That's basically okay. Lights we have, that's okay. And we can go directly to flaps 40, and flaps 40 we have 1 to 6. Okay, 1 to 6. And we are approaching 10 nautical miles, so we can go down with vertical speed 1,300 as well, and we have the missed approach altitude 16,000 feet. So we have 16,000 feet as well. Right over there we can adjust the speed a little bit, and now we are diving the airplane, and we have engine start which is continuous, speed brakes armed, landing gear down, flaps 40, green light. So basically landing checklist is complete, and the runway offset is 15 degrees to the left side. So what we can do, we can disengage the autopilot, we can recycle the flight director switches. It's very crucial for our approach, and we can dislike the speed just to have the under protection. So, and now it's my airplane, and I was considering between flaps 40 and flaps 30 because we are near the high terrain mountains, and that was the problem with with the wind shear condition, but mm, yeah, it should be okay. Okay, so we are 300 feet below the angle which is computed by FMC, but I don't understand the discrepancy with this configuration anyway. So runway is on our left side. So we are a little bit below the profile, but anyway, I will leave it like this one, to be below the profile, in order to achieve the Okay, we are safely on the ground, so we can put the thrust reverse. And we'll press the manual braking in order to stop the airplane. Okay, so we have 60 knots, closing the thrust reverse, closing everything, and we are good to go. So I hope you liked this video, and maybe you will learn something new, how to correct flight with not IMC conditions, but within the conventional navigation IFR conditions, because you have to use them sometime. Okay, so we have the free apron. Stabilizer trim is on 5 units, which is perfectly okay. I like it. We can switch off the transponder because on this airport we don't need them. And we can start the APU, okay? And we can put terrain inhibit, switch to terrain inhibit. So the landing wasn't perfect, wasn't as I expected, but I will do my best, and Yeah, if you don't like, just leave me a comment, and I will improve myself. So taxi lights, APO available, and now we can turn to the apron. And believe me, I saw plenty of videos from real life in which the Airbus 320 and BBJs are departing from this airport or arriving to this airport, and it's all about the bureaucracy. So you have to first send the application form and so on, and then you can fly to the airport. Okay, we are using thrust drivers too much, but temperature is 10 degrees of centigrade, so that's nothing special to cool down the engine. So in this case we can easily shut down the engines while on the apron. So we are now approaching the apron, so lights coming off. It's okay. Check the APU, good quality. That's fine. And disregard these guys, and we will make it like this one. Okay, we can look from the outside view. We'll start run a little bit sooner as I expected, so it's my fault. As I said before, disregard this guy. Okay, maybe that's it. We are okay. We are okay without any further problems. So parking brake is set, and we have APU on bus, shutdown procedure, and we can make shutdown checklist. So that's okay. Unblock, stop the block time, and release the packs. Below 10%, anti-collision lights off. That's okay, that's perfect. We can put it this away, and mobile phone is on, shutdown checklist is completed. And what we can do, we can make, for example, put the chokes, okay, and air starter unit no, air conditioning unit no. What's happened? I don't understand. Services. We can extend the like this one with the menu, and the doors open. It's opening. That's fine. And look at the airplane from exterior. Oh, it's really beautiful. It's pretty cool. Okay, and now it's time to arriving the VIP cars. So how we can do it? We can do it with services and request this one. So now it's pretty okay, and what we have to do, it's just repositioning ourselves, start deploy the passengers, start the unload the baggage compartment, and once the baggage compartment is deployed, we can stow the airplane, we can perform the shutdown procedure and shutdown checklist. So now, as you can see, there are easily unloaded the baggage. Any further problem? So now what we can do, we have passenger deployed. That's okay, so we can retract, and that's it. Stairs as well. Cargo, it's okay. Wheel wall chokes are set, so we can release the parking brakes over the night and make a secure procedure. That means the IRS is off, galley power off, emergency exit light off position, PEX off, window heat off, and basically that's it. So we can put the APU switch into off position. Like now, I hope. The doors are open. Okay, so it's no problem. And doors are closed. Airplane is fully secured, and we can switch off after 1 minute and 40 seconds. We can switch off the APU, but anyway, we can do it right now without any further problems. So I hope you liked the video much, and if you have any questions regarding to this video and regarding to any topics of Boeing's, feel free to ask me. Okay, so what we can do now,